Fisayo Adeyeye is an MFA candidate in poetry at SFSU. He's had works published various places, including an online Lana Del Ray anthology titled Dope Angel Pussy, and an alt-lit print anthology titled the Yolo Pages. He likes ants, whales, and other animals/objects of comparable size. Please join me in welcoming Fisayo.
First, I just want to thank everyone for having me here. Yeah, so I have some short poems I'm going to read. Before I read, I'm going to just say that I have like some great anxiety that I'm going to like flail out or like yell something because my head's like, you can yell right now, so I don't think I'm going to. I always just say it so that it doesn't happen. But just in case, just ignore it. Okay. Cold Bones. At our second place, fig trees used to drop along the sidewalk outside, and I would think the air is so metallic here. In my grandfather's dream, he was planting the world's first cherry tree. But imagine this small red baby screaming at the top of its lungs. Don't put me in. Please, please don't put me in there. His hands never shake when he tells me, but his voice always rattles like wind, or fingers moving through branches for something to hold on to. When I show people the house we grew up in, they are never impressed. But when I show you the tree we buried him under, your hand grips my hand, and the fingers bite into my skin like splinters, like breaking your teeth on ice-crusted cherries, your mother collecting them all in a circle. December 27, 2008. She's playing the Lux Eterna in the kitchen. She's got her hands around my throat, but I'm a good kid, with a good head on my shoulders, ready to tie myself down to anything. Any girl, any boy, any body, like Joan tied down to tree parts, like God in the hollow of a mouth with the flickering blue static of a television set, like naked bodies in winter pools, submerging our heads to get a really good look at our skin. Steph always says, shut up, not everything has to mean something. And this doesn't kill me, but this kills me. The bright Christmas paper hanging over our heads. How I only want something clean or precise. This one's called The World's Last Yo-Yo Master, or another shitty poem about a curse. It uses a line from the Notebook. Yesterday, the boy dreamed a blanket of sea foam eating his toes. Blue jeans stuck to his thighs. Fingerprints fading. The way his father wrapped his hand around his mouth. Like a plastic bag. Like, son, I will take you and ruin along with you, or I will ruin you. Like, son, fuck it. If you're a bird, I'm a bird. Boy blinks into the sunlight. Stretches one arm and then the other. Remembers trying to drink oxygen, but tasting mouthfuls of wood. Everything cold and murky pale. Everything toxic all at once. This one is entitled. I was okay when I was a fetus, maybe. I had crumbled feet and wet mouths, blue submarine sinkholes that said help without any oxygen. This was the greatest thing. In the soup, all my oceans poured out of my mouths. I breathed them back in and became the moon again. Became the tiny frenzies of miniature scientists consulting topographic charts to study consciousness. How this can be used to make several bodies of things whole again. I am often dreaming the bleached and boneless bodies of whales. The ones rotting on all of the beaches. The ones rotting amidst the ripped out carcasses of sailboats. Whale bodies graffitied with hieroglyphics. Whale bodies graffitied with anchor burns and kindness. A whale dissection, but also foreclosure auction. A summer house inside the decaying corpse of a blue whale. A group of bookshelves carved into the veiling. A sitting room arranged inside the mouth. A pair of bedrooms within the arteries of the heart. A kitchen in the stomach for iron. Odysseus is waiting for a watcher. a white flag against the deep, empty blue. 10 whales already killed and clawed open, with fingernails, splinters of warm wood. Odysseus remembers his childhood home falling to pieces. Chalk-white concrete spread out like elephant bones. Dust pressed into the notches of the fingers with ghost prints all over the sun-ripened grass. Odysseus sees mountains of wet meat and feels sorry. Everything he loves folded over, 2 layers of hot film, and peach-soft insides. Waves licking at the hole and Poseidon carved into the face of an oceanside cliff. This is for my homies, Poseidon says, as he spills palmfuls of the sea. There are things coming to eat us, but they are wonderful things. I sold my body to science. Science sold it to someone I went to high school with. I lost 15 teeth in the orgasm. She said some things ripped the white open, and I chewed the rain until it became a little kinder. A tiny china doll to crawl out from beneath the covers, to kiss my elbows, and just to be there. Someone to take care of me when I'm the only illegitimate thing. Someone to cuddle you when you're beaten and immense. I will deflate all the air out of this so you do not have to suffer all the breathing. I will break open into 1,000 paper cranes. I will become the most cynical part of everything. Help my little bird body be close to you. I am the tiniest watchman in your pocket, the way the smallest things and the largest are the same. The hammer-headed sharks bashing holes in your dad's SUV, we never found, never let go of. The quarters rumbling inside our cheeks, pressed together, cold and wet. Sorry, sorry, sorry. The way whales don't even cry when people leave fingerprints all over their tombstones. The way we snuck beer in your little brother's sippy cups and took turns tasting things in the backseat. The way you pulled the quarters out of my lips and put them into separate piggy banks. The way you said you would save them all for rainy day. There are myths that you always want to remember and myths that you try to forget. Your mother teaching you to breathe with 2 hands pressed on your ribs, but your father teaching you to crumple his hands into fists. You know you're not really supposed to have it together, but what hour do the lines in your palms ripen? When do they teach you how to eat a peach with your lips, or where to find the sweet part of the tooth? Soft pink insides that bite and then burst. Remember how cool your hands were before. The difference in the color of your skin when touching, when squeezing. Toes intertwined. Water burning from all the way inside. Hunter-esque. You can still see weeds around their ankles. Drowning moths. Rubbed pink hands. The tip of the tongue under the pole of the tongue. I taste God breath and whisper crickets. My stomach swelling with lake water. Rib bones. Flowers. A heart all gasping. You will not stop pulling trees, though you know the gold does not exist there. You will not stop picking all of the pink veins from my tongue. Water has history, but we pulled flypaper skin sticky. Somehow forget about the violence of language. I no longer bring flowers to hospital rooms, but still have panic attacks in supermarket aisles while shopping for fruit. In the lungs burns a farm, a cave song in the throat pale. How many times we thought this red water could make something permanent, but I am fine, watching the petals circle the drain around my own feet. Graveyard. Tell us in chapters, like a fairy tale, but the gothic ones with bears. I could pretend I didn't feel a shudder up my spine every time you spoke about the salvageable part of anything. It was my fault, really. I said own when I meant inhabit. Like that game we used to whisper into each other's necks after I sprinkled coins all over the sheets. After we watched Cold Mountain 3 times with the sound up. After we both separately agreed to let the quiet spaces go. Some kind of good animal. A baseball bat in the driveway. A line of glass crackling under a sneaker. Grass stained, shirt ripped. I feel like we are dressed for a funeral, but Davis breathes quietly in the dark. The window sill is still stained with his blood, rainwater. Can you try not to leave a mess? I mean, my hands open and close like little knots, like I am considering holding something. letting it go. I'm just trying to pull myself together. I want to cut him open, crawl over his windowsill, breathe quietly in the dark of it, look through the flaps of his eyes, flex my fingers inside his. I want to be clean or right, or maybe just someone better. Davis kicks up the curtains till the bed creaks, and I pray that you give me strength, or I pray you give me anything. Sweet or salty? The first where I'm trying to describe eating with my entire mouth. The second with a damp thumb pressed into my cheek. The third, where under the covers I'm telling you my second greatest story. That time my mother stained our shirts red. We walked around the school with chestfuls of blood. The first, where on the third I led you back to voicemail. We eat yellow cake, feel sweet in the belly, forget what to touch it. What I am meaning by saying your name is, in this space you taste something odd. Davis, I pour lake water into your open mouth. You gasp for air while swirling things make homes inside of you. We eat poems in the flatbed of your truck laying down. Feather prints kissing in the most obvious and inconsolably helpless ways. And I think I like it when the sky feels good about stuff and does beautiful things. So I curl my fingers like talons around tiny bits of concrete. So I build a nest at the back of your closet for both of us to live. Sorry, it's kind of depressing. Sweet Dad. An unpeeled child who went to kiss the sun and got its teeth instead. Road lines lipping into flesh as he dropped from pale with his wings glued to his sides, skin braided like teeth marks in his stomach, zippered and lined along his back, screaming about the dust in his lungs, the blood pushed up underneath, how they only see what they want to see, a piece of fallen moon, a trick of light, how they avoid seeing what they need to see, another small black body in a crater. Misty night. Raccoons eat trash from the dumpsters, while we bury cell phones in the garden. Fat hands and tiny scraps of paper. Black moon, black bruises, black holes in our mouths. We sometimes forget to be present things. How to stand, how to take witness. The weather does not know what it wants to be. Dear Steph, you already know what it is. This morning, a type of garden in my stomach, but mostly just weeds. I think we might have been having the same dream last night. Standing in a bathroom, slowly filling up with water. Knowing we would both drown, but not knowing exactly when. A feeling which felt kind of like the idea of anything we could ever think being stronger than it actually. A feeling which felt kind of like death, or my lips curling ever so slightly in some direction. Or maybe a feeling kind of like, oh God, please touch me. I mean the feeling. I mean these small spaces between God and Adam's fingertips in creation. The way they almost seem bird-shaped in this light. This is called Little America. This is a line from Indiana Jones and Last Crusade. Last fall, behind the bleachers, a flock of birds ripped the sky purple, and I thought, I'm about to lose this in myself. We named the dog Indiana, but we named the feeling human. Your breathing leaving bruises in my hair, my mouth, my empty hands. The wet bird peeled from my teeth. A lonely arboretum, a palm cupped with blood or saliva, which sometimes feels like you can never forget the way it all bubbles on the edges, but like Steph, you can never actually go home again. With God. Can we call this worship? A head bent back to hold the blood in. I want all throat sweet but can't reach my lungs. I want milk but my violent body uses too much soap to stop the light. I got the mouth bends in a baseball field reading poetry a few feet from an empty bird shape in the yellow grass. I squeeze bones till I pierce skin and turn blue where the edges pull across my lips. Seth, I feel I was born a dead thing, in a city of bodies beating the insides of the cocoons. Swallow. Shaving my legs in the shed, or how many lies can I keep hidden? Black smoke bruising the tops of our skin, while our lungs open unto identical crime scenes. Figures thudding into wet paper, soft crinkles, small breaths of pink, things which could be considered too much for this world. This is my last one. The mystery that investigates itself. This, my body, yours, stretching out into one another, curved at the tips. Who will find out? Who will be found? Who will cry foul? The only thing missing, the toe tags. The man with the axe. The man with the gun tucked into his white jeans. Glasses pushed up, fingers fumbling. His daughter dipping pieces of white bread into a chicken noodle soup while he kisses her on the nose, leaves for work, and goes nowhere, and never comes back, and has no destination. Which is the easiest? To say I will be leaving soon, or to really be leaving? My body and your body. The man with the white crosses, these plastic garbage bags. Along with a lot of really great reviews. So, thank you.